Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today, another big bit of information that we found out from the data download and everything that was in the files after the big update for JP is that we are getting 2 new categories added into the game. Obviously they are in the files already, and we can take a look at the list of characters who are on them. So not only are we going to go over the category a little bit here for both of these and see how good they look, but also, this gives us some interesting insight into what the leader skills will potentially be for the upcoming units that are releasing in part 1, because obviously it should follow logically that these are being added into the game in part 1 because they are going to be the leader skills for units in the part 1, and we can kind of deduce from looking at these categories and seeing who is on them who they are going to be the leader skills for. So we're obviously going to talk about the category, we're going to talk about the character that they will potentially be the leader skill for and other options and see where that takes us. So this is the first one. Now obviously we won't know until we get the global data download after the maintenance tomorrow what global decides to officially translate the categories as, because we all know we've had some very interesting ones in the past. But this one is currently being translated as heroes who protect the earth. At least that's the auto translate here for the Dokkan info version. Another one is like protectors of the earth or something like that. So obviously this category is going to feature a lot of the big superclass characters. Realistically, any characters who are from the final battle of an arc from the anime, final battle from, you would think, most of the movies, are all going to be on these categories. I guess it depends if they get really down into the nitty-gritty of like whether the enemy that they were fighting was specifically going to destroy the earth or kill everyone on the earth, or if they were just there to fight them. So like, for example, any characters who just fought any of the androids apart from Cell, I would imagine probably aren't going to be on here, because those other androids, their only target was to get rid of Goku, right? Whereas obviously Cell, once it got to the you know, the real pinnacle of like the Cell games, pretty much was going to destroy the earth. So yeah, Gohan is on here. You can see him if we scroll down an extra level. So it'll be interesting to see who does get included and who doesn't, because we can see straight away we've got Family Kamehameha Gohan. I mean, yeah, I guess the giant ball that Broly throws at the end that then gets Family Kamehameha, I think is implied that would potentially destroy the world. Cell Max, obviously, with Beast Gohan being there. Broly, I'm pretty sure they mentioned that like they have to stop Broly because otherwise he could go so crazy that like the whole planet will be in danger. So Blue Gogeta's on there. Now, interestingly, the Super Saiyan trio are on there. So that does go back to what I was saying about the androids. I kind of missed them being there on the top row, because really they just fought against Android 13, 14 and 15, who, as I was saying, like those androids, their only goal really was to stop or kill Goku. I guess they did, like a bunch of them did kill like innocent civilians and stuff. So otherwise though, that makes it really, really open for like, if it's just literally any hero characters who fought enemies who were just killing innocent people or like destroying things, surely this would be a huge category. But sort of hope Trunks is on there, because again, I guess it's not protecting the earth literally, like the physical earth, because of course Zamasu's plan was to just wipe out all the mortals, not literally physically destroy the planet. So that's obviously part of it as well. Then we've got Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Again, I don't think Baby was really trying to destroy the planet, it was just trying to control everybody. We've got Tree of Might Goku, so versus Turles. The Buu Duo, obviously, versus Kid Buu. GT Duo versus Omega Shenron. Ultima Gohan, obviously same thing as Beast. The Hachiak Goku, so Hachiak is included under enemies that would be a danger to the earth as well. Super Saiyan Goku versus Cooler is included. So there's quite a wide range of different battles that are included under this requirement for being heroes who protect the earth. Kaioken Goku obviously versus Vegeta. The gods is the same thing versus Broly. Gogeta versus Janemba, because of course, you know, if the crazy otherworld shenanigans kept going on and blocking up the flow of like souls to the other world and stuff like that, that was essentially going to destroy everything. So that gets to be on here as well. Gohan Super Saiyan 2 from the BoJack movie, so BoJack counts. Dragon Fist Goku obviously versus Hirudegarn. Hercule obviously is on here because he's the champion of the Earth, right? Defeated Cell. Prime Battle LR Goku being on here is interesting. I guess because his 18 key is the Spirit Bomb. So I guess that counts as like the Kid Buu thing, even though the art has always kind of implied that it's like the Namek Super Saiyan Goku. And then we got a bunch of TURs, Dragon Fist Goku again, God Goku, of course, like fighting to protect the Earth from Beerus, Resurrection of F Blues. I mean, I guess technically Frieza does destroy the Earth at the end of Resurrection of F just before the rewind, so I think really they weren't, up until that point, they weren't really fighting to protect the Earth so much as like Frieza was just back to like settle the score with them specifically. I guess he probably would have still conquered Earth as part of that though, I guess, after if he had been successful in defeating them. So I guess that makes sense. The GT Super Saiyans are on here as well. Really hope they get an EZA sometime soon, although we know from the road wrap that it's very unlikely to be during the anniversary. The Goten and Trunks are on here, so I guess anyone that fought like any form of Buu, I guess at some point is on here. Although, interestingly, Majin Vegeta isn't on here. So I guess he wasn't like, you know, if you think about his motivation, he wasn't fighting to protect the Earth. I mean, there's no Vegetas on here outside of the GT ones and then the ones paired with Goku. Because obviously most of the time Vegeta wasn't fighting to protect the Earth. He was just fighting for the sake of fighting, or fighting Goku, or actually being Goku's enemy, like if we're talking Saiyan Saga. And then, of course, even when Majin Vegeta tries to kill Majin Buu, realistically, it's only to protect, like, his family and friends and kind of redeem himself, not so much protect the Earth in as a whole, I guess. Otherwise, I feel like you could have Final Explosion Majin Vegeta could be on here, arguably. But there you go. That's the heroes who protect the Earth category. Now, with this one, you can see, if we look at the people who are on here, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is on here, but there's no Blue Evolution Vegeta and there's no Vegetos, which is also kind of interesting, because if Goten and Trunks are on here, I guess, are they just counting these as the Goten and Trunks from the Bio Broly? I thought these ones were the Buu Saga ones, though, and the Int and Physical, the Int and AGL ones were specifically the Broly movie ones. Although I guess, actually, let me double check in my game quickly, because are these guys on Movie Heroes? Because if they are, then I guess it counts as, I guess they count as the Bio Broly ones as well, because yeah, they are. Okay, I didn't think they were counted as the Bio Broly ones. So yeah, they're on here because of Bio Broly and not Buu. So that's interesting. So no Vegetos are on here and no Blue Evolution Vegetas are on here. So obviously that kind of narrows down the fact that realistically that means this has to be the leader skill for the new Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? It's a better shout out to Kua for the higher quality images. So what we also have to remember is that Goku and Vegeta are both Carnival LRs. So unless they're going to give them double 200% leads, which we've only seen with the Jiren release so far, and of course he got 2 categories, but they are insanely overlapped, right? Because Universe 11 and Universe Survival Saga, they're basically the same category. So him having two 200% leads didn't exactly make a huge impact. But Goku having the heroes who protect the Earth category certainly would be an interesting one, considering all the characters that are on there. The GT duo, obviously the LR Super Saiyan 4s from the 7 year, who we are expecting to EZA. So that will certainly be very, very interesting. But the thing that makes it seem a bit more interesting for me is if we go on to the other category. So this one is being directly translated by Google Translate as the successor. But the translation that I saw people posting on Twitter was inherited power. So again, of course, until Global does like an official translation, we won't necessarily know. Because I'm not really sure, even as the successor or inherited power. It's interesting that Beerus is on here. Being that he is just the god of destruction. I mean, I guess he is the god of destruction. We know that other people can become gods of destruction, because Whis makes that comment about like whether Goku wants to be the next god of destruction after Beerus. But so we don't know whether Beerus was originally created by Zeno, or however, like how everything all began, as the original destroyer of Universe 7, or if it was somebody else back in, you know, hundreds, thousands of years ago in the story. So I'm not sure what that means, if that counts as him having the inherited power. I guess that would imply that he wasn't the first destroyer, right? Or I guess, is it saying that he inherited the power from Zeno, but then realistically, if Zeno created everything, wouldn't technically every character that exists be on that? So it's obviously talking about the god like destroyer power. Then of course we have Zamasu's on here as well. So I wonder if that means that like every Kai is on here. This one feels like a really interesting one. I feel like inherited power is maybe not the right one, and the fact that the Dokkan info, like Google Translate, is the successor, because I'm looking at characters on here like we've got Frieza, and like Frieza and Cooler, and Frieza and King Cold, and obviously Frieza is like King Cold's son. He's like the successor to the Wicked Bloodline, I guess. But this one seems like a really weird one. Inherited power seems like it would be the translation that makes sense for some of these characters, but it feels like it doesn't make sense for some of the other ones. Again, you've got like Eos from the latest Heroes batches on here, who is, of course, a previous Supreme Kai of Time. So I'm assuming that means if we scroll down more, the Tech Supreme Kai of Time is on here. So that's interesting. Dabura's on here. All the different forms of Frieza. We've got Piccolo. Vegeta is obviously the successor to like the, you know, he's the principal Saiyans, the successor to the Saiyan like throne. So I guess all Vegetas are on here. But yeah, all Freezers seem to be on here. Zamasu, I guess Zamasu was originally going to be the successor to Gowasu. So that makes kind of sense. But again, it's still odd to me that Beerus is here, if that's meant to be the logic behind the category. I guess Goku Black counts because he is just Zamasu. Every Vegeta Dabura. I mean, I guess we know from Daima that he was the son of a previous king of the Demon Realm before he became king of the Demon Realm. So I guess that fits the successor thing as well. Obviously, Champa is on here because Beerus is, so that makes sense. Topo, we know, was in line to become like a God of Destruction. Essentially has the God of Destruction mode power up. So that kind of makes sense as well. So yeah, this one's very, very interesting. On its own, I think it doesn't look like the craziest category. It's a lot of Vegetas, which obviously would be good, considering that I think we can, you know, as we broke down logically by the first one, there's no Super Saiyan 4 Gokus, and there's no Vegetos on this category. So again, it stands to reason that this will be the leader skill for the Blue Evolution Vegeta. Now, this is the part where we're going to have to completely speculate because we don't know what the leader skill formats are going to be for these new Carnival LRs. But this is where I think it really comes into play that we are going to see two leader skills for these Carnival LRs, whether it is double 200% or whether they give, because we've seen them do it with Dokkan Fest now. What if going forward from the 10th anniversary Carnival LRs are going to have a 200% lead and a 170 lead? Maybe they don't even get the plus 30. Maybe they just get a secondary 170. Maybe they just get a secondary 150 even. Who knows? Because the reason why I say that, and the reason why that seems like a logical step for this Vegeta especially, is if we go back to the category, the problem that we have is, although we don't know Vegeta's unit super attack condition yet, because, you know, he's got UI Goku in the background of his card art, but the card is just Blue Evolution Vegeta. It's not Vegeta and Goku. It's not a Vegeta exchange into Goku, because otherwise the name would be different. It's just Goku, but with UI Goku in the card art background, which usually only really means it's going to be a unit super. And we don't know what that condition is. Like I've said in videos before where we've been talking about it, hopefully it's something a bit easier like a Realm of Gods Goku, rather than specifically being like a UI Goku, because that really narrows down the options that you have to use. But the problem is, if this category, successor or inherited power or whatever it's going to be called, is Vegeta's leader skill, I mean, you can see as we've scrolled down and looked at the category, it doesn't even matter whether it's Realm of Gods or not. There's no Gokus on this category. So that means that if Vegeta has this leader skill, he would have to have another category. Otherwise, he either doesn't have a unit super with Goku, or his unit super, even though Goku's in the animation, is just something like with a Realm of Gods ally or something. Because otherwise, he would be leading a team that doesn't have a Goku on it, which would be so weird, because obviously you can run him on other teams with a Goku, but it wouldn't really make any sense to release him needing a Goku in some way, shape or form for his unit super, but then his own team can't have a Goku on it. So this is what makes me think that these Carnival LRs, because we know that Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku are the Carnivals, why they could potentially have 2 leader skills. Now again, I don't think it's necessarily going to be 2 full 200%, but remember when we were talking about in the video I made the other day about potential categories that these guys could lead, we were talking about Goku, and he's got some really big, crazy categories like Power Beyond Super Saiyan or Transformation Boost, but he's got smaller ones that are not as great, like GT Heroes, which wouldn't be very good as just a standalone 200% lead. But if he was leading this category and then GT Heroes for like a small percentage, or whether it was to 200, whether it's 170 or 150, like that team would obviously work really, really well. And then of course, if Vegeta's leading this team and then gets like Realm of Gods or Vegeta Family or something like that as the secondary leader skill, again, whether it's 200, 170 or 150, like that would make for some really interesting team builds. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I say, it's seemingly obvious with the characters that are on the categories. Like this must be part of Vegeta's because he's the only character that's on it, and this must be something to do with Goku because he's the only character that's on it out of the 3 headliners. But as I've said, as I've explained now, hopefully you guys see where I'm going. Like I feel like it's pretty obvious. There's no Goku on this category, so it would be so weird if Vegeta just led this team for 200%. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you think these will be the leader skills for these 2 units? Do you think we will get secondary categories? What do you think they will be, and what do you think the percentages will be? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.